All right, and welcome in to another edition of Hockey Talk with Angel and the Ice Devil. You can see the Ice Devil's here, but the Angel is out on assignment for us up in Vegas. So we're going to start episode number 14 today, live from the Ice Den in Chandler. As you can see behind me, some fogginess going on with the humidity out there, but there is ice back there, and there are skaters back there. So it's been an awesome week. We had a great chance to talk Sun Devil hockey. Had a chance to bring in tonight our first guest will be Katie McGovern, who's a Scottsdale native, played NCAA women's hockey up at the University of Minnesota Duluth, and now is returning to ASU as an assistant coach for Lindsay Ellis on the women's program. And we also have a chance to go 3 segments tonight with the head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils, Greg Powers. So we thank both of them for coming in and giving us an opportunity to talk hockey here in the middle of summer. So without any further ado, we do want to get started with the show. I want to say thank you to the Chandler Ice Den for allowing us to come out here and record our show as always. So without further ado, we'll be right back with Katie McGovern.
The Ice Den Scottsdale has always been the coolest place in the desert. Now with the addition of the Ice Den Chandler, our 2 locations hosting 5 sheets of ice make the Ice Den your home for youth, travel, and adult hockey leagues. Our nationally recognized Learn to Skate programs offer world-class instruction for skaters of all ages. Our pro shop features equipment and apparel with the top hockey and figure skating brands. 18 Degrees Express with the Chili Bean Cafe make the Ice Den the perfect place to host your next birthday party or special event. Visit us online at coyotesice.com.
All right, welcome back to another edition of Hockey Talk with Angel and the Ice Devil. We're visiting today with the newest member of the coaching staff over at ASU, and she's not new to Arizona. She's an Arizona native, but Katie McGovern, glad to have you here. Glad to have you back in Arizona.
Thank you. Really happy to be here, be home.
So tell us a little bit about the journey. You started off, grew up here in Arizona, played youth hockey here.
Yeah, it's like a full circle. Like you said, I started out playing here, moved away twice to play hockey, went to UMD, and now I'm back coaching at ASU, so I'm really happy to be here.
So tell us a little bit about that journey. You played here, had to play with some tough competition in order to get better, and then you moved on and went to Colorado, and then from there on to Dallas, and then on to a 4-year school at UMD. So
yeah, just hockey is not as big here, so it's growing, but to play with the best players, moved to Colorado, get exposed there in the JWHL, then went to Texas, played there for a year, and then found my way to UMD all 4 years, loved it, and now I'm back here coaching ASU.
So what made you go to UMD of all places when you're looking for colleges to play at? Did they recruit you hard? Did you find them? How did it all happen?
Yeah, they recruited me. They had a coach that played in the JWHL, and then he ended up coaching at UMD. But yeah, I fell in love with the campus and the team once I was there. I knew it would be a good fit for me.
For those that don't know, I'm also a UMD alum, so it's kind of a UMD connection. I haven't been back there in years, but when I was there, the campus was very unique in the fact that it was tunneled pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
Still the case?
Yes, all the buildings are connected, so you don't have to step outside in the really cold winters there, so it's super nice. Yeah.
We talked a little bit off camera about Duluth itself being very unique and built on the hillside, and the winter times can be challenging, right? Especially if you come with a car from the south.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I had a few problems with my car there. It was quite interesting, a good experience for me driving up in those hills and stuff, but yeah, it's different than here.
So what's it like to play NCAA hockey at the highest level?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was such a great honor to play with the best players in the world. Just going in every day, it was my dream, and my dream came true, so I was really happy I got to do that. Yeah, like I said, compete with the best players, so it was a lot of fun.
And you played in a league that featured some really good talent from Wisconsin, Minnesota, North Dakota. So give us some memories or some highlights of your career at UMD.
I think some big highlights would have been my junior year. We beat Bemidji to go to the WCHA Frozen Face-Off, and that was incredible because we weren't expected to move on, and they were the 6th-ranked team, so that was awesome. Or this past season, my senior year, we swept the Gophers. That was huge. We haven't done that since 2010, so
Right.
that was awesome. Or we beat Wisconsin 4-1, and they were the number-ranked team for like 17 weeks or something ridiculous. So we had a really good year.
So for people that don't know Minnesota hockey, Minnesota Duluth and University of Minnesota are rivals very much like U of A and ASU, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah, big rivals, just like that.
What was it like playing in the Amsoil Arena? That arena was built relatively new, and it's built basically for you guys, correct?
Oh, yeah, it's just us and the men's team there. And, yeah, it's a beautiful facility. We're really fortunate to have that and get to practice and play there.
So when you look at your career and now you're getting the opportunity to coach down here at the ASU and you're getting a chance to influence young girls that are working their way up, what would you tell them? What do they have to do to get to that level?
I would just tell them to work hard, and always go the extra mile. You always got to do something extra just to show that how bad you want it, and always have fun and remember why you're doing what you're doing. Just have a purpose so you don't get burnt out or anything.
So when you're playing at that level, you get a chance to do a lot of things that you wouldn't get to do. You get to play against like top-notch college girls, but
Right.
but also top-notch world girls, right? I mean, you had some girls from
Yep.
not only the States but from other countries.
Yes, we one of our best players, Laura Stalder, she's from Switzerland. She won a bronze medal last Olympics, and she'll be going to the Olympics again. And yeah, she was a top 3 Patty Kaz Award finalist, and I played on a line with her, and boy, was that fun. And Ashley Bricklick, her as well, from Canada, another top player who's going to go play in China this year with the CWHL team. So yeah, and we had other great players I played against on other Olympic teams. Like we had a lot of good Swedes on our team, and just all over the world brought together at UMD.
So at UMD, obviously, hockey is king, pretty much, right? I
Yeah,
mean, the men's and
yeah.
women's teams are kind of like royalty up there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So tell me what it was like when you heard that the University of North Dakota's program was going away.
Yeah, that was terrible. Like, me personally, playing North Dakota was my favorite series. It was just fun, hard-fought battles. So to hear that another, 20 girls don't get to play Division I college hockey is sad, but hopefully we can get another program up there. But yeah, it was just terrible.
And their loss was kind of a gain for not only UMD, but some other schools that were able to pick up some of those girls, weren't they?
Right, yeah. I think we signed 3 players, 1 transfer, and then 1 coming in as a freshman, so that'll be really good.
So tell me a little bit about the transition now. You graduated up there, so what kind of degree did you get?
Exercise science.
Very nice. Now you're coming down here to ASU. You're fortunate to get on the staff with Lindsay. And
Yes, very
tell me
excited.
a little about how that transpired. And we talked off camera about you knew the program was kind of starting up last year, but tell me how that all worked out for you.
Yeah, well, I think she always knew I wanted to help out in some way, and fortunately there was an assistant coaching job position open, and she asked if I wanted to be in, and I said absolutely, because I wanted to help the program in any way I can, and I'm happy to be the assistant coach and get to be with the girls.
So when you're up at UMD, right, and you're hearing about this rumblings of maybe a women's program at ASU, what was going through your head?
Yeah, I was super excited. Everyone thought to me they were going to be Division I. Everyone's asking me, but just ACHA Division I, but still super awesome. And it's great for Arizona, and so happy the girls who live here still get to play college hockey, and it's great.
So what do you know about your new team coming in right now?
I know that we have a lot more home games this year, so that will be nice, a lot
Right.
more local fans. But yeah, we have a prospect camp coming up in 2 weeks, so I'll really get to know the girls then, and I look forward to that.
I'm going to give you one piece of advice right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to say don't stand in front of Casey McGinley's shot.
Right? She's got a big clapper. I know that for sure, yeah. We were teammates back in the day, so absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about what you're going to be doing, what your role is going to be with the team, what things are you going to bring to the program?
Yeah, I hope I can bring, what I learned my years in college, and just some skill work, never giving up, and just, bringing that to the table and helping the girls out as best as I can.
So did you ever go through a time in your life when you played on a team that had the numbers that were like 10, 12 girls like they went through last year?
Yeah, it seemed like we did when we were younger here in Arizona, just a small roster, so hopefully we'll get more girls this year.
What's that like as a player when you have few numbers and you're trying to give it all you got, but yet you have to kind of conserve something, right?
Right. I mean, it's nice because you never have to worry about ice time, so I mean, there's a plus. But yeah, it's exhausting, especially like when they had 2 games in one day. Like that's really tough.
Right.
Tough to come out with wins. But yeah, like you said, you just got to conserve your energy and play smart then.
So this weekend you guys have a youth camp going
Yes,
on, I
yeah,
understand.
yes.
You're going to be on the ice for that?
I am. I'll be there for that, yeah.
And then next week is the prospect camp, so you get a chance to look at some future
Yeah,
players and
meet a lot
some
of the players.
players,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I really look forward to that as well.
So tell me a little bit about the McGovern family and your brother playing. And
Yeah.
for those that don't know, your brother played on the ACHA team here,
Yes.
and then also the NCAA team
Yep.
here, right? So
Yeah, so that was super cool for him as well. It was a full circle for him too. We both started our careers at DYHA at Oceanside, and then for him to come back home and play, it was incredible. He's a homebody, so he loved being home, and yeah, it's pretty awesome. I always looked up to him. He was a big role model for me, and so yeah, he really inspired me, pushed me.
Let's talk a little bit about your skills. We'll backtrack a little bit. Tell me what your skills were on the ice. What did you like to do? Where were your strengths?
I think I was really smart on the ice. I saw the ice well, so made some good plays, both offensively and defensively.
What's going to be the difference? You saw the speed of NCAA women's
Yeah.
hockey, right? Now
Yeah.
you're coming back to ACHA level.
Yeah.
What do you expect to see in difference in speed and talent-wise?
I just think different skill aspects of the game. I mean, I saw a game last year and it was good. So yeah, it'll just be a different pace of game, I guess. Yeah.
I have to ask you also about the growing rivalry. Now, I asked your new goaltender, about the rivalry between ASU and GCU with them back in the program this year, and she
Yeah.
said, "Well, it's really not a rivalry yet because we haven't played."
Yeah,
So,
understandable.
but what do you think about having two teams in the Valley right now
I
that
think
are playing?
I think that's great. More the merrier because it's closer travel and just more girls in Arizona get to play,
Right.
locally. So that's awesome. But yeah, I think there'll be a rivalry starting now that we got two competitive teams to battle.
Tell me what it was like growing up, and obviously Lindsay Fry was making her mark in the Olympics. So
Yeah.
was she somebody that you looked up to and wanted to maybe try to get to that level as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I always looked up to Lindsay Fry. She's an incredible person, an incredible player. She played with my brother when she was younger as well,
Right.
so I always looked up to her and wanted to be like her.
Lindsay played with everybody's brother. I think
Yeah.
she played with some of the guys
I
in the
think so
Coyotes.
too. I think so too. Yeah.
So
Yeah, she's
tell me a little bit about the importance of having NHL hockey. I know the Coyotes have kind of been up and down. You've seen them from afar. You've seen
Yeah.
them from being here. So
Yeah.
what did you think about the new ownership and the new coaching and things? Are the Coyotes, in your estimation, headed in the right direction?
Yeah, I think so. I think they got a lot of good new faces, young players, but also veterans coming in like Nicholas Hjalmarsson. I'm a Blackhawks fan as well, so I'm really happy he's with us. And then Derek Stepan and new goalie Antti Ranta. So yeah, I think it'll be really good. Future's bright for them as well.
So we talked about the Coyotes and then the Roadrunners down in Tucson, and we kind of have a mutual friend coming
Yes.
in to play goaltender. So
Yes.
tell us who you
Yeah.
dragged down. I'm going
Yeah.
to say you dragged him down here. That's
Right,
what I
yeah.
told him.
Yeah, Hunter Miska. But yeah, he had obviously phenomenal year. He brought our boys team to the championship game, and it could have gone either way. So that's phenomenal. He'll be great for them. And then also Zach LaRaza just signed with them too, and I
Right.
played with him when we were younger. So I think that's awesome.
Did
they'll
you
be
ever
good.
think there'd be a team playing in Tucson that was a professional level?
I wouldn't think so, but it's great. Great for Arizona.
Very nice. So tell me a little bit. I'm going to give you just a couple minutes to talk right to the ASU faithful. Now that you're back, now that you're settling in,
Yeah.
you got your role.
Yeah.
Tell the ASU faithful what they can expect from ASU women's hockey.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great year. Like I said, we got a lot more home games coming, so we'll bring a lot more fans out there, and I think it will be better. So last year we kind of just knew, so getting into the program, just kind of seeing how everything works, the games, but now the girls know what to expect, and they're going to bring their best, and yeah, it's going to be a lot better year.
So not only do you have rivalry games starting up with the Grand Canyon, but you got some special events too. You got your breast cancer game right,
Yes,
and your military night.
Yeah.
So you guys are starting to make this thing really roll, aren't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We also have our alumni weekend in September, bringing back some ASU alumni from the 2000s, I think. So that'll
Right.
be really fun. But yeah, it's getting this thing really rolling. It's gonna be good.
Well, Katie, I thank you for stopping by. It's always great
Yeah.
to see a UMD alum in
you for
the
having me.
States. So we'll look forward to seeing you and following you guys along as the season progresses.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. Look forward to it as well.
All right, we'll be right back with another segment of Hockey Talk with Angel and the Ice Devil.
Crime can happen to anyone at any time. Be a role model for the next generation. Become empowered. This is true life insurance.
All right, welcome back to another segment of Hockey Talk with Angel and the Ice Devil. As you can see, we dragged him back in. It took me a rope, a couple of trucks, a tractor, I believe, but I finally got him. We've had him here the very first segment. Happy to have him back, Greg Powers. Welcome back to the show.
Well, it's great to be back. We're missing the Angel though, huh?
We got Angel up in Las Vegas.
Okay.
That's starting to take a little bit of work for us both, covering the whole desert Southwest. So she's up there, but she'll definitely be back.
Good.
So we're happy with that. We're doing a lot of big things. As you probably saw, we're doing our feature games. We're going to do 33 weekends, which
Good.
will include all of your home games.
That's great.
So we'll be out there and providing as much coverage as we can. Sun Devil hockey is on the rise for sure.
Absolutely. It's good to hear.
So let's talk a little bit about, let's see, it was April when I talked to you last, I think,
Yeah.
the awards banquet, and you've been busy every single day since then, I believe. So tell me what the summer's been like.
Well, the staff, we've been busting our humps all summer, and respectively, the players have too. The players have been working out. They're all here right now. We can't do anything with them. Obviously, our strength and conditioning coach,
Right.
Garnet Exaby, is working with them every day. So they're here. They're building that camaraderie and chemistry on their own without us, which is huge, and they're taking a lot of ownership on our program. So we're really excited about that because we hadn't had that the last 2 years.
Right.
Now we have an established base with an established strength coach and a program. So it's everything's becoming more seamless every day, and it's really good. And then the staff's just on the recruiting trail hard, you
Right.
know, and things are going really well for us.
For people who don't really understand NCAA hockey as opposed to, say, ACHA hockey, but you're recruiting not only for this year, but next year and the year down the road.
Yeah.
And I know you got some guys from my stomping grounds up in Moorhead that are coming on board in a year or two. So what's it like to keep all that straight?
Yeah, you just have to manage your scholarship and your rosters, 3-4 years out, almost like a salary cap, you
Right.
know, and we have tools that we have built that does that for us. But so we know exactly what we need and what year, at what position, and what type of player we're looking for. So it's an endless, almost rat race
Right.
of recruiting in NCAA hockey where it never stops. You can't take many days off when the season ends. It's not like we just get 4 or 5 months to ourselves and refresh. We've been busier, and it's more sporadic in the off season than it is during the season because there's really no routine. So now that we're into August, it's starting to calm down, and we can start to spend some time with our family before we start up.
We talked about the schedule a little bit last year, or last time I talked with you. It was just kind of coming out at that time and coming together, and I don't know if you have any more updates on it, but when you look at your schedule, it's a little bit different than last year, isn't it?
Yeah, we love how it lays out. It's a schedule that strategically we really were able to plan for. We were
Right.
the first hybrid year. We literally had to play anybody that would play us wherever they would play us, and that was why you saw some 3 games in 3 days on the road. And then last year even too, we had a tough schedule, but we had to play anybody that would say yes because everybody was so booked out. So this is a schedule that strategically lays out for, I think, what should be more success for our program. We're hoping for. And it's one that took 2 years to construct, and we're really happy about it.
So for those that haven't taken a peek at it, they haven't been to your website, shame on them, first of all. But second of all is, when you look at your schedule this year, after Christmas, or really from the Ice Vegas tournament, you're going to be at home, aren't you?
Yeah, it's good, and that's what's going to be really nice is that we have one stretch of road trips where it's back to back to back. It's right when the season starts. We open up at home against UMass Amherst, and then we go to Air Force and Omaha, which are both 2 very easy road trips.
Right.
It's a quick flight into Springs and a quick flight into Omaha, and then we go out to Colgate the week after that, and then we're home. We're home for 2 weeks. We have a week off, and it really balances well. And then in the back half, we have a stretch where when you include Las Vegas, which is essentially a home game for us,
Right.
We're home for an entire month. So that's way different than the past 2 years. We think we have all the right teams at home. They're really, really. We play a lot of good programs, obviously on the road as well. But BU and Quinnipiac and UMass all are powerhouse programs, and to get them to come to Tempe and just our second full season is incredible for our program.
And a lot of that's got to do with you going out there and being a formidable opponent, I would guess, right? It makes it a lot easier for them to want to come and play you.
I think that as we've become to be a little bit more successful, especially down the back half of last season, that helps. But really, it's a credit to the entire body of college hockey. They've been great to ASU. They want to see growth. They want to help the game. They know that we're good for the game. So they want to see us be successful, and they're willing to come out and play us, just as all the teams that came out last year was. So we're thankful for all those teams, and we're excited for really the Valley to see such great historic programs.
So we saw The rebuild of the ice at Oceanside looking great now. Looks like they got some nice work for you. So we
Yeah.
know that's home for you guys. But you also play some games out at Gila River. Have you got anything finalized yet that we can say when you're going to be there, or who you're going to be playing there?
We're really close. What I can say definitively is that the Penn State series will be at Gila River.
Okay.
And we're crossing T's and dotting I's on a couple of other ones. With the Pac-12 network and with AEG, who manages the arena, but the Penn State series will definitively be at Gila River, and we'll know probably within the next week what other games might be.
So the obvious question that I keep getting asked, and I know you keep getting asked, is like, how soon is this going to be a reality where you guys can play at home on your own campus? And we're still working towards that, correct?
Yeah, we're getting closer every day. We really are. And I know I say it at the same time everybody asks me, but we truly are. We're getting closer every day, and I can speak, very, very candidly and say that, our athletic director, led by Rocky Harris and Frank Ferreira and Scotty Graham and Gabe Cagwin and obviously Ray, it is of the utmost priority for them, and they've got made a lot of headway over the summer. So we're excited, but people are just going to have to wait and wait for those details.
Those big balloons are going to come up one
Yeah.
day, and they're just going to take off, aren't they?
Exactly.
So tell me a little bit about how that affects getting into a conference, or does it? Are the two related in any way?
I don't think they're related per se. I think that we're more focused on arena
Right.
before we are conference right now, as evidenced by our decision to wait and not join the WCHA. But we are really focused on that facility, and once we get that, we think everything else regarding our program, conference included, will probably start to take shape.
Right.
And will provide us a little bit more of a clear picture of what direction we want to go.
Okay, so enough of that stuff. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about players. How about that?
Perfect.
All right, we'll be right back with another segment with Coach Powers. All right, and we're back with segment 2 with Coach Powers here at Hockey Talk with Angel and the Ice Devil, live from the Ice Den here in Chandler. It's always nice to come out and be in a hockey rink, so thanks to the Ice Den for hosting us. So, Greg, we talked pretty much schedule. We talked about recruiting. We talked a little bit about your summer. Now let's talk about players. When I left you last, we were talking about a recruiting class.
Yep.
Anything changed in that type of recruiting class, or things that you had to adjust from, or anything?
Not too much. We're thrilled about the kids that we have coming in. On the back end, Jacob Wilson, who almost won a Clark Cup in Sioux City and was, just a linchpin for that franchise on the back end in Sioux City for 3 years. He's ready. He's ready to help us after 3 years in the USHL, wearing a C. And if you meet the kid, and when you do, you'll see he's just mature beyond his years, and he's going to add a lot on and off the ice for our program. Obviously, Vito Janssens, he led the North American League in goals from the back end.
Right.
6'4", 210, can skate really well, great feet. So with those two guys coming in, we're incredibly thrilled. Up front, clearly, Johnny Walker, the local kid.
Yep.
Kid can score goals. He can score goals. He's got that moxie about him where you're glad he's on your team, and if you play against him, you want to kill him. And you can't have enough of those guys. With how we play, that's what we want. That's what really drew me to Johnny. He's going to be a fan favorite and a favorite of his teammates here for the next 4 years. And then Dom Garcia was a captain in Aston, who almost won the North American League Championship. He just makes everybody around him better. He's got a presence about him that I haven't seen in any kid in my entire tenure of coaching college hockey. And he's just different. He can walk into a room and command respect in a good way, and he just makes everybody around him better. So we're really excited about Dom. Philip Spunsis was the captain in Johnstown.
Right.
Really good, skilled two-way center. Big, plays really well on the defensive side of the puck, great on draws, and just has a tremendous amount of upside as well. Another captain, and then another captain, Gage Mackey,
Right.
out of Aberdeen, who also made the Final Four in the NA. So 4 out of those 6 kids, wore letters on really successful junior A franchises, and that's how you build programs with those types of kids.
I was going to ask you that. When you guys are out recruiting, is that a priority, looking for a kid that's a captain?
Right now
or
it is.
a C or an A?
Yeah, right now it is. Steen Pasternak wore the C for
Right.
Bonnyville. Brinson wore the A. Holman wore the C for Spruce Grove. Tyler Bush was a captain at Spruce Grove. Riley Simpson was an alternate captain at Spruce Grove. Louis was an alternate captain in Omaha. Crow was an alternate captain. And, they're all leaders, right? And the good leaders you have to learn how to follow before you can lead. And that's what makes, I think, our room right now, the dynamic is healthy, and it's a tight-knit group. And for I think if an outsider walked into our room and experienced our culture and where we have this thing going after the last month and a half of last season, they'd be shocked that we're in our second year. It's got that kind of feel. So we're excited about it, and it was certainly by design. Mike and Alex have done
Right.
a tremendous job going out and evaluating and picking who we want to bring in, and we're happy about it.
So when you're out recruiting players like that, and you and I talked off camera about it, but when you're recruiting players like that, you're looking not only ahead, but the guys you're bringing in now, you got to go, okay, are they all going to get through NCAA clearance? Are they all going to be here healthy? Are they all going to fit roles? So how do you do that as a coach, getting enough players to make sure that you've got enough in the right spots?
Yeah, it's just all part of how you build a roster, right? We have a tool that I had built that manages that for us. It manages what we're allotting from a scholarship standpoint, so we stay within our 18, and then certainly we know where we have holes and what type of player we need to fill those holes,
Right.
and we go out and we find that player. And if they're a fit on the ice, which you'll find there's a lot of great players out there that can play for a lot of teams, but they have to be a right fit off the ice. And so to find that combination, you have to get down and roll up your sleeves and get to know these kids, and that's what Hicksy and Mike do so well in the front of the recruiting process. And I get probably more involved than most Division I head coaches in the recruiting process, because I want to know
Right.
who I'm in the foxhole with, and they need
Yeah.
to know who they're in the foxhole with every day. So it's just certainly a detailed process, but we as we move further along are perfecting it as far as what we want to do and how we want it to entail.
So I would say the group that you had last year added to the group you have now is also a plus in recruiting, right? Somebody comes in to look at your room, they can see a pretty well-built team.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And what we are really optimistic about is this year we only have 2 seniors.
Right.
One's David Norris, who's a tremendous player and was hurt half of last year.
Right.
And then the other one's Gage Hoff, who was another kid, new guy that I didn't mention, the transfer from UMass Lowell.
Right.
And he's a grad transfer, so he can play right away. He's an older guy, came from an incredible program
Yeah.
with a really good culture, really good coach in Norm Bazin, and so he's going to bring so many intangibles to our program and our locker room that we haven't had. So we're excited about Gage Hoff, and then obviously getting Norris back is huge. He has an element of skill and the ability and the vision to see the ice that nobody else on our team has.
And not to be a disappointment, but I know you went to the NHL draft this year, and you were having some high hopes for Brinson, right? And
Yeah.
and it didn't pan out the way, but
Yeah, it is what it is. That kid's such a warrior that he doesn't even care.
Right.
He went to Montreal's development camp, and sometimes it really is honestly better to not get picked
Right.
in the draft and play your cards in the free agent market, because now we have the utmost confidence in Brinson as a player, and he certainly has it in himself, as he should. That another 2 or 3 years at ASU, he's going to continue to develop and work with us and polish up his game, and he gets to pick between 31 teams now.
Right.
And instead of just having his rights held by one. So he's excited about that. He's looking at it optimistically, and he's got a great support group around him with his family and with his staff and his teammates, where it won't affect him a bit.
So the uniqueness about hockey players being drafted as opposed to any other sport is they can get out, go to a development camp with a pro team, come back, play. It doesn't affect their eligibility.
Mm-hmm.
And you had what, 3 at development camps this year?
We had 3. Louis was invited to Columbus late and couldn't make it, just logistically work.
Right.
He went to Winnipeg's camp last year late.
Yep.
And then Austin Lemieux played obviously in Pittsburgh's camp. So we had 5 completely when you include Austin and Joey
Okay.
DeCord.
Right.
Strider, Jacob Stridsberg went to Toronto, did a great job. Bushy went up to Calgary, and they really liked how he played and had a great camp. He's in the best shape of his life right now, so we're looking to get a good hot start out of him. And then obviously Brinson went to Montreal and finished in their top 10 in the fitness testing, and they really were impressed with what they saw. So those guys that go to those camps, it doesn't take their eligibility. All it does is it lets them go and experience kind of the NHL way for
Right.
3 or 4 days and play against high-end competition and get good coaching and use it as motivation to get back to that level someday. But for us, it raises the level of play. So they just come from those camps and they come in and they it's our guys are like sponges and they just add to what we're doing. So everybody wins with those.
So a lot of people have asked me, they said, when you come on the show, to ask you how much interaction do you have with NHL coaches as far as prospective players or players that have been drafted or whatever? Do you get a lot of interaction with that, or?
Yeah, not necessarily with coaches per se, but with management and especially the scouts, the amateur
Right.
scouts. There's generally not a game we have home or away where there's not at least 2 or 3 scouts waiting for me outside the room wanting to ask about whoever they were impressed with in that game. And then it's the amateur scouts that go and report back to management, and that's how they pick who they invite to their development camps and who they draft and who they sign.
So we look at the team right now as it goes. Where's the strength going to lie on this team? Are you pretty well balanced across, or do you have a strength right now?
I think we're really balanced. I don't think there's going to be a huge difference between our first and third lines. On any given night, what you see as a third line could be our top line, and we're excited about that. So we get good balance and depth, and we'll be able to use, the ability to have such a great strength and conditioning coach and balance to run teams into the ground. You see our success on Saturday night
Right.
in the back half of
Yeah.
the season when we were traveling a lot. We were still winning every Saturday after the Denver series, and that's a huge credit to Garnet Exelby and the work he does with our guys, and our guys buying into the program. So, up front, we're going to have balance. On the back end, we have 8D. It's going to be a really tough decision on what 6 are going to play every night. And certainly in net, the way that Joey ended the season was really promising. He's got all the potential in the world, and we still think really highly of Rylan Pashevitz. So Pash is going to be right there, and whoever helps us win is going to play.
So are those the 2 goaltenders you have coming in, or do you have a third?
We have
too
a
that'll be
third,
there?
Mike DePhillips from out east, a
Okay.
really good, solid goalie. He's coming in as a freshman, knowing what he's up against. He's a
Okay.
great teammate, but he's certainly capable. But those other guys are going to be the guys.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come right back and finish things up, and we'll talk a little bit about the tournament schedule you guys got coming up. I think it's awesome, and if you live in the Valley, you need to get up to Vegas at least, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we'll be right back with one more segment here on Hockey Talk with Angel and the Ice Devil.
In today's odor elimination, sanitizing, and deodorizing market, air spaces and fabrics are treated with very aggressive, highly toxic, and often very dangerous but cheap chemical-based solutions. These chemicals have harmful residues and pollutants that can impact your health and the well-being of those around you. This is the bad news. The good news is there's something better. That something is OxyPal. OxyPal is a fast-growing company based in Phoenix, Arizona, with franchises opening across North America. OxyPal has developed a way to eliminate, not mask or disguise, all organic-based odors in any airspace or on any fabric surface with ozone, also called trioxygen. Ozone is present in the atmosphere, and it is what protects our planet, our environment, and every living thing on Earth. Through years of research and development, OxyPal has perfected a way to harness and apply this powerful solution to purify airspaces and fabric surfaces safely and effectively, eliminating all organic bacteria, viruses, mold, fungi, and allergens on the molecular level. OxyPal has designed and perfected many next-generation and evolutionary alternative products and services safe for people, pets, and our planet. The solutions offered by OxyPal are stronger, safer, non-toxic, and a great value. Visit our website and online store today at www.oxypal.com. On our website, you can make a service appointment, buy products, or learn more about us and our great franchising opportunities.
All right, and we're back with the final segment of Hockey Talk with Angel and the Ice Devil. We got Coach Powers here from ASU giving us his midsummer and preview, we'll call it, to the upcoming season. So we've had a chance to talk about your summer, recruiting. We talked about players. Now let's talk a little bit and focus about not only the schedule, but a couple of big tournaments that you guys have been invited to and accepted the invitations to. So tell us first about the Three Rivers Classic.
Well, you know, we got the invite to go to this, and it was before we were really confirmed to go to Vegas.
Right.
And we hoped that Vegas was going to work out, because we knew if we went to both, we would have to postpone our Desert Classic for a year, which we have.
Right.
And it'll come back in 2018-19. We already have that field set. But to go play where the Penguins play, you know, the back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, and obviously with Austin being a part of our program and all that, that's just icing on the cake, and it had nothing to do with it. But I think it's going to be great. It's going to be great exposure for our program. We play Providence in the first round, who is one of the top probably 10 programs in college hockey.
Absolutely.
Year after year. The job Nate Lehman's done there is remarkable. So, you know, it's a great field. Robert Morris is a really good program that not many, you know, people that follow college hockey that closely know about, but they are good and tough to play against. They won that tournament last year. I think they beat BC and Quinnipiac to win it. So it's a great field with Lake State as the other team, and then we come right back and go right up to Las Vegas and play at the brand new T-Mobile with another great field, and Northern Michigan in the first round, and then we play you know, the deciding team of who we match up against based on our game between Boston College and Michigan Tech. So great field, and we think that we can get a lot of ASU faithful up there. It's close, and right here regionally, I know a ton of alumni are planning to go.
Right.
So it's going to be exciting.
It's the right time of year, too, right after
Yeah.
the first of the year, so it's an opportunity. But
Absolutely.
let's step back to the Three Rivers Classic. You guys played in some really big games last year. You guys had a chance to play on ESPNU.
Yep.
You guys have played some really big games.
Yep.
But what's it going to be like to be playing in that arena for your guys? Because I'm guessing the hockey people in Pittsburgh are going to be out in full force.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be great. We obviously get the opportunity to play in an NHL arena here when we play out at Gila River. And at this point with our team, we have enough experience, and these guys that have been here now going into their third year and their second year, there's nothing they haven't seen. There's nothing they haven't seen. We literally have thrown our guys to the wolves and swam through a river of crap and came out clean on the other side, right? So they're ready. They're ready. They've seen it all, and nothing will intimidate them, and I think they'll just embrace every opportunity that they get.
I think that's got a lot to say about your program and the job that you've done, too, with the program, to get that kind of respect that they want to invite you into a field like that in both tournaments. I mean, that's a no-slouch type event, isn't it?
No, for sure. It's obviously, I think people are intrigued by you know, the pitchfork and having Division I hockey at Arizona State, and we're a brand that is good for college hockey. Everybody knows what that pitchfork is and who it represents. Largest university in North America,
Right.
and so we're very fortunate for that. And like I said, it's a credit to really college hockey. They've accepted us with open arms.
We love talking to you about NCAA hockey, but I always have to go back, and I can't end a segment without talking a little bit about your roots in the ACHA level. And I got a feeling that inside you feel a little bit of pride with what's happening with GCU's program growing, with UNLV going to an ACHA Division I. And I think maybe down the road you were looking and going like, hey, this might happen, right?
You know, I tell those guys every day, don't worry about those four letters, the NCAA.
Right.
You know, we never did. And I think the job that Danny and the folks over at GCU are doing is incredible. Danny's a hard-working kid, and he's always been really talented, and I think destined to be a coach.
Right.
With the way that he thinks and approaches things. And he's doing all the right things. And I told him, don't focus on anything but what's right in front of you. That's what we did. I tell Z and Nick and Greener and Artie up in UNLV the same thing. And And I think they're both two programs that are going to be tremendously successful as long as they don't get too far ahead of themselves.
Right.
They'll get what they want.
So when you were coaching at ACHA level and you're playing D1, it was basically you and U of A D1 teams, right?
Yeah.
Now there's Grand Canyon's pushing to get there next year,
Yeah.
more than likely. UNLV is there, so kind of nice to have that building, right? And this
It's
getting
great.
more kids to play.
It's great. You know, Chad's doing a great job down in Tucson, and with a lot of roadblocks facility-wise, and not many places to play, and he's doing a heck of a job. And then obviously Josh, the job he did last year with our ACHA program was incredible. They had a great team, so you know it's exciting. It's great for hockey here, and I think. You know, I read an article that Jeremy Goltz wrote in Arizona Rubber talking about ACHA hockey and why
Right.
it's so special, and he hit everything on the head. He
Yeah.
did. That's a guy that's so passionate about that level, as am I, and always will be, because everything we have, we owe to it. So it's great hockey. I'm really, really pumped for UNLV to come down and play our ASU ACHA Division I team. I'm going to go to both of those games. And then I believe the next weekend, Josh's team plays Grand Canyon in Peoria,
Right.
and I'm going to go check those out. So it's great. You know, the more teams we can get in universities here in the Southwest to add, you know, hockey, whether it be ACHA hockey, whatever level it is, it's good for the game, and it gives more kids here in Arizona an option to go play while they further their education.
We'll finish up on a couple of things. We would be remiss if we didn't talk about the women's program and the growth at ASU too. With we just had Katie on just before you, and the fact that she's coming back to work with the program and the job that Lindsay's done in recruiting, and not only that, but her big weekend with the youth camp this weekend. So tell me a little bit about what your feelings are with the women's program here and at Grand Canyon, creating a little bit of a rivalry.
It's going to be great. You know, to see GCU add one so quickly is impressive. But Lindsay, she is a motivated girl, and I don't think anything's going to stop success with her or ASU women's hockey. It's really impressive, and the professionalism that she brings to that program, really from day one, and the plan that she had in place, I was blown away. She knew exactly what she wanted, and she's executing it incredibly well. My daughter Isabel is going to go play in the camp this weekend, so we're excited about that. I have to sign her up tonight. She keeps reminding me, and I forget, but hopefully they still have spots. But
well, you've been a little busy.
Yeah, so
all fairness.
So you know, it's impressive, and I think every year you're going to see ASU women's hockey just get better and better.
And I would be remiss if I didn't get your opinion on the big news from the Coyotes and the direction that they're headed. Personally, I think that's a huge step in the right direction, and I know that you've seen it firsthand. So what are your thoughts? Rick Tocchet coming in, Steve Patterson coming in?
I think the group that they had did a great job, and now it's just these guys pushing the rock forward and giving it a little something extra that maybe they didn't have. And I think it the way that Rick Tocchet, you know, handles himself and coaches, and he's always been a player, obviously, when I watched him play, that I admired, and you can tell just by the way he's on the bench and how he interacts with his players and communicates with them that he's a great coach. And so he's here locally. He's going to be great to watch and a great resource for all of us to learn from. And then obviously with Steve Patterson, I don't know Steve that well. I didn't meet with him, you know, once or twice back when he was the AD and we were still an ACHA program, but he's a really sharp guy. There's a lot of people in the athletic department that worked for Steve that think very highly of him and speak very highly of him, and currently, you know, with their arena situation and his expertise in that field, I think he was a great hire.
So we're going to wrap it up right now, but I know there's somebody that should get a shout out tonight because I dragged you away from her on her birthday. So go ahead and give a shout out to your wife.
She's here. She got a nice dinner. So, but happy birthday, Jess! And
I put it out on Facebook. I thanked her for letting us steal you for
Yeah.
the night, and I appreciate you coming in as always. We've got to do this more often.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be right back to wrap things up on another edition of Hockey Talk with Angel and the Ice Devil.
Hi, it's Angel. I'm the VP of Marketing for Icetime Hockey Southwest. You can find us at www.icetimehockeysw.com. We'd like to help you grow your business in the desert.
All right, and we're back to wrap up another segment, another episode of Hockey Talk with Angel and the Ice Devil. Great show tonight. Great opportunity to talk Sun Devil hockey, both men and women. I had an opportunity to visit with Katie McGovern, the new assistant coach. I want to thank Katie for stopping by. Also want to thank Coach Greg Powers of the ASU NCAA team, and awesome to have Greg in here for 3 segments and be able to talk to us and tell us a little bit about the program, where they're headed, all the good things. So really nice to have Greg coming in. Really nice to have him coming in on his wife's birthday. So happy birthday, Jessica. It's really nice if you allow us to have Greg on your birthday. So we want to thank our sponsors tonight. Of course, the Ice Den Chandler for having us in as always. Our friends over at OxyPal for always being on board with us. Our friends at Swag Hockey. Our friends at JPI. So as we get ready to wrap up this segment, episode 14, we'll tell you a little bit about what's coming up next week. It'll be episode 15, and it's going to be a little surprise. We got some things in the works, so I'm going to tease you with this one. I'll give you the heads up that just tune in next week and you'll see some excitement. So for right now, we'll go ahead and sign off for my behind-the-scenes crew with Robert Schneidmiller, our executive producer Terry Strandy, and for my partner Angel, who's out on assignment in Vegas for us. This is another edition of Hockey Talk with Angel and the Ice Devil, episode 15, and that's a wrap.